business is really warfare, but it's the activity of life itself. You say, well, business means I need to open up a business. Okay, yeah, that's right. But real activity of life has to deal with all the essentials of life that we must provide for ourselves, our families, our future. I have something in my pocket that, gee, where is it? Oh, yeah. I have a gold coin. In 1961, I was sitting with Elijah Muhammad, and he took out of his pocket a gold coin. This is 1 ounce of gold, pure gold, okay? Mr. Muhammad put it on the table. He said, one day soon, this gold coin will be the new medium of exchange. White people are moving into the inner city. Some of them knocking on doors. They come with money and they ask you for your gold. Because what they're giving you, I think I got some of that in my pocket. Yeah, I think I do. Now this is paper. This is not real money. This is real money. Silver as real money. Now you young people, some of the elders in the audience, like myself, this used to be called a silver certificate. How many old people in here know when this was a silver certificate? And you know what it said on the bottom? Pay to the bearer on demand $50 in silver, the real money. This is what you call monopoly money. Oh, you didn't hear me. We're going to do some business tonight. Because business is really warfare. What's about to happen? This week it came out in the news that in 2016, all the major banks are in trouble. It started with J.P. Morgan Chase, Bank of America, Wells Fargo. What makes a bank in trouble? When the value of the paper that they have begins to lose its value, then the bank is in serious trouble. And so are we who have our money in the bank. Now, white people that are in your neighborhood, they're in the pawn shop now, and they're telling you in the window, bring the gold, we got cash for you. They know you don't know that this is losing its value every day. But gold will increase in value. Now this one here, I bought it today, or sent a brother to get it today, because I wanted to use it to explain something. 1 ounce of gold, this little piece right here, is 12 we have to press the government for reparations. Listen, as long as you ask for a job, and they don't have them these days, but they can promise it. You're going along to get along. Do you know why Elijah Muhammad put on the back page of Muhammad Speaks? We want freedom, full and complete freedom. We want justice. We want equal justice under the law. We want justice applied equally to all, regardless of creed or class or color. We want equality. We want equality of opportunity, and we want equal membership in society with the best in civilized society. But then in point number 4, he says we believe that those of us whose parents, have been here for 400 years, and we believe that you offered us integration as a hypocritical trick to make us believe that our 400-year-old enemy has now become our friend. We believe that this is the time in history for separation. And he said, since we can't get along with you in peace, see, then we think what we've contributed to America, we should have some of this earth that we can call our own. So we need 8 or 10 states with an outlet to the sea. And we want you to supply our needs in this separate territory for the next 20 or 25 years until we can go for ourselves. Now, I had a talk at Harvard with that man, the senator that died, Moynihan. He had talked about birth control among blacks, and I went to Harvard and we had a little debate, and I told Mr. Moynihan that, we wanted to be separated from you. We don't see you giving us no justice. So we want some of this earth that we can call our own. And I was telling him that we were willing to go into underbrush and cut the underbrush down and fell the trees and build a nation of our own. And I was telling the Honorable Elijah Muhammad what I told Moynihan. He said, stop, you was doing all right till you got to that part. Say, you don't tell a white man that you're willing to go back and cut no underbrush. We already did that once. If we have to do it again, that's not progress. Hell no. Get out of the cities and the towns that we helped you build. Go and find some other state to move in. You move out, we move in. Now wait a minute. You say, oh, come on, Farrakhan, that's a pipe dream. Well, damn, you better put it in your pipe then. You better start smoking what this is. Because that mess that you're talking ain't making no damn sense.
That's right. That's right.
You gonna wait around here another 100 years so they can bamboozle you some more?
That's right. Right.
He said, well, 8 or 10 states, let them go out, we go in, and let them take care of us in that separate territory for the next 20 to 25 years. You say, oh, come on, Farrakhan, they won't do that. Listen, they've been taking care of Israel for 55 years. They've given Israel over 100 billion of your tax dollars, and Israel haven't done nothing for them. You mean to tell me we who built the country, we who fought, bled and died to maintain the country, we who gave it art and culture and season it, and we can't get along with you in peace as long as we want equal justice? Hell no, we can't wait for you to change. Right. We want a nation. We want to be able to prepare a future for our children. We don't need no rich middle class of Negroes who can't do nothing for the masses of our people. We need land and territory that we can call our own. So reparation got to be on the agenda. We need land, Mr. President. You got all this Federal Reserve land. What you reserving it for? Yeah, we need cash. Hell yeah, print some more. you in your foolish state, what are you going to do with $20, $30, $40, $50,000 but give it right back to the enemy? It ain't about money. It's about that which will prepare a future for you and your children. You're not going to be on welfare for the rest of your life. You're not going to be out here scrounging and begging white people for a job for the rest of your life. But if you got land that you can build a real world out of it for yourself. So the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, well, I put it there. They may never give it to you. He said, but I want you to know what justice looks like.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
So they won't offer you a white woman and a few dollars and you think we made it.
Don't get so cold like that.
Some of you Negroes will sell our people out
That's right, that's right.
for just a little position with white people. You won't sell us out. You'll be buying your funeral. The future of our people is not to be compromised. It would be better that you were dropped in the bottom of the sea with a millstone around your neck to betray the legitimate aspirations of our people. We got to come out from among them. We got to leave Pharaoh. Leave him. The hell with it. Leave it. Force him to tell you, nigga, I ain't giving you nothing. If you put it on the table strong enough, he'll come out of his bag. See, today he's smiling. Hi, brother, how are you? See? But if you say, no, wait, no smile, no pat on the back yet. Let's talk about reparation here. Okay? Then you see him change. Face get red. He open his mouth and these teeth turn into fangs. Horns come up. Say, now look, we'll give you a monument for the slaves. We'll even help you Negroes have a museum on the mall in Washington. But we'll be damned if we're going to give you anything. Say, well, fine. You're not going to give us nothing, and we're not going to give you nothing. We ain't joining your army. We're coming out of it. We ain't paying no taxes to support a system that's against us. Hell no. See, now you're throwing down the gauntlet. Now either God is real or we don't need him. God damn it, if God can't come to our defense, who the hell need a God that won't fight for us? So all you scared to death niggas that think that God ain't real, we gonna prove that he's real because we calling this cracker out. God damn it, come on out then. And if God be God, then stand up for us like you stood up for the children of Israel. Yes, sir. Come on. I don't represent no punk God. No, sir. No, sir. I represent a God that make rain, hail, snow, and earthquakes. I represent a God that has power over the forces of nature. I represent a God that can turn men's minds to thinking and doing as he pleases. And he real, he ain't no damn spook. So all of you that fear the white man as a God beside Allah, get the hell over here. I'm willing to die for the righteousness and the freedom of black people. And I'm not no damn fool. Keep on your feet. This is a day of separation. Yes, go ahead. Y'all not gonna be together. That's right.
What
what happened to George Bush's stimulus package of nearly $800 billion? You don't even know where that went. Nobody's saying nothing. Nobody asking. But all of a sudden, our brother is the guilty party for putting America in debt. See, if you don't study, you cannot defend him. If you don't study, you can't help him. America went into debt starting in 1913. She was only $1 billion in debt in 1913, and in less than 100 years, she's $56 trillion in debt. How did that happen? Did Brother Barack do that? In 1913, some bankers, Jewish and Gentile, met on Jekyll Island off the coast of Georgia, and they developed what would later become the Federal Reserve Act, which was passed in Congress December the 26th, 1913. And after that, a group of bankers began to control the monetary service of this nation. Oh, they're right around the corner, and where they print the money, and right next door is the Holocaust Museum. Some of you silly ones wonder why. You say, Farrakhan, why are you doing this? You're making it hard for all of us. No. If you don't know Satan, you can't get free from him. Did I say something? See, the book of Thessalonians puts it nice. That day shall not come except there be a falling away first, and the man of sin be revealed. Not the spirit of sin. The man of sin. Sin is transgression of the law. And these, they're not really Jews. No. They've hijacked Judaism. Those that I'm talking about. This is the synagogue of Satan that you will read about in Revelation 2:9 and 3:9. Go ahead and study. They print your money. Used to be a time when we could go to the bank and pull out a $50 bill. I happen to have one. Mr. Grant's face is on it. But it says Federal Reserve Note. But when I was a young boy, it used to be called a silver certificate. That you could take it to the bank, this is paper, and get in return real money. Silver. Take it to the bank now. See, you're being tricked every day. Bring your dollars or your old gold, and we will give you paper. Soon you'll be wiping your backside with paper because real money don't exist. America is broke. She's broke. And today, in 2013, we are in December of this year, 100 years since the creation of the Federal Reserve Bank and the Internal Revenue Service and the ADL, the Anti-Defamation League. And since then, America's debt has gone from $2 billion to more than $16.4 trillion. Now, they set these institutions up to work in unity. The Federal Reserve, the IRS, and the ADL. One was to create debt, the other was to enforce a tax policy to take from the American citizens enough to pay that debt. And the watchdog of the whole thing was to see who would recognize who did this. And that's when the Anti-Defamation League would raise the cry of anti-Semitism. And now, America is seeing herself in ruin because of it. Though they're telling you the inflation rate is a low 1.7%, Federal Reserve Chairman Ben Bernanke is now running the printing presses 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, to prop up a falling economy with money that is backed by nothing. The money that they are printing has no value. It's phony money, fiat money. Every month, the Federal Reserve is flooding the monetary system with $85 billion in fiat or phony money. It is valueless paper that makes whatever wages we earn lose its value. They can pacify us with the talk of recovery, but your bill for milk, for bread, for oil, for gasoline, for cereal, for butter, for transportation, for the essential goods that make life livable for the American people, those prices are skyrocketing. Yet your wages are not keeping pace. You're making $7 and a few pennies hourly wage. Well, now we have 29 states under severe drought, ruining crops and livestock with one major storm after another, and all the calamities that are happening. This only adds to the pressure on an economy that is already on life support. Now the people are being taxed to pay for this, but the debt is so far beyond what little the people have that they can never pay it down. And to tax the people further would deprive them more of the essentials of life, which they are barely getting now. The fact is that we are now facing the grim reality that everything that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad predicted has now come to pass.
All right, greetings everyone. Glad that you can make it. Well, assalamu alaikum. Thank you for tuning in to this brand new episode of Business is Warfare. And we are back with a full line, full season, new season. We was off for a minute. We had a couple things going on, but we're back now. And we thank you for being with us, because this is the second longest broadcast that we had behind our Future Money show that we are coming back with Saturday. We had to take some time off because of some things that we had to deal with. I moved, whole lot of stuff going on, right? So, but we're back now. And we're new and improved. And we want to start this season and this year off right. And we want to bring to you and we want to talk about the number one scam on the planet. And that number one scam, it ain't crypto. It ain't all these bots. It ain't these trading platforms. It's not that. The number one scam on the planet is the Federal Reserve, as the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan was just breaking down. But we're going to go deep into that, and we're going to go to what fractional reserve banking really is and how it's a scam and how the Federal Reserve creates money from nothing. Money is supposed to be created from wealth creation, from the movement, from things being brought out of the earth, real wealth, tangible things, from money flowing, not from just pressing a button, not from a stimulus check, not from a bond, because a bond is short for bondage. So we're Far Money Network. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel, by the way. We are students in the classroom of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, and we want to help the minister, because when I came home in 2016 from a 10-year federal prison bid, which I did 9, I was studying and hearing the minister, and I was amazed at how he was so eloquent and how he could articulate and how he could make the hard truths so plain that I was a fool in the classroom, but I can't even make a mistake with it because it was just that clear, just that plain. And I seen him one time hold up this book right here. Hold up this book, The Secret Relationship Between Blacks and Jews, Volume 2. How Jews Gain Control of the Black American Economy. Now, if you're a Caucasian, if you're a Jew, when we're saying Jews in this sense, we're talking about the ones that rule and control. We're not talking about Orthodox Jews. We're not talking about Jews that follow the Torah. We're not talking about Messianic Jews. We are talking about the Zionist Ashkenazi Jew. That's a Pacific group. Okay? Now, I want everybody to understand this, because a lot of us who claim to be woke, and when we get to talking like this, we get afraid. We get afraid to hear it. We don't want to hear it. Why? Well, it could be that the deliverer or the message bearer is bringing it to you in a harsh way. Maybe. But I don't know about truth being able to be harsh. Truth is truth. What's plain is plain. Stop looking at the messenger and listen to the message. I'm going to say that one more time. Don't look at the messenger, because you might don't like me for whatever reason. You might don't like me because I don't work a job. You might don't like me because I'm in crypto. I got a crypto business. You might don't like me because I'm a follower of Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. You might don't like me because I'm light-skinned. You might don't like me because I wear a suit and tie. I don't know. You might don't like me because I got waves in my head. I don't know why you don't like me. But that should not stop you from hearing what is being said and understanding that I'm bringing this for you and for our family. Because I feel like I was put on the planet to help destroy the synagogue of Satan. If I wasn't born for that, I definitely have grown into that role, because that's why I'm here to help the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. Now, we got another clip where he talked about that the synagogue of Satan is the federal. He said it is the Federal Reserve. That's what he said. And he said that more than one time. So you can say it and argue with it. You're not arguing with me. You're arguing with him. But you're really not arguing with him. You're arguing with the Most Honorable Muhammad. Then you're really not arguing with the Most Honorable Muhammad. You're arguing with Allah, God in person. And I know that might make some of y'all feel a certain type of way. Well, it's mighty funny that Muslims, Jews, Christians, everybody, always say what God ain't, but you can't tell us what he is. You were quick to say God ain't a man, but you can't tell us what God is. The Bible, if you're a Christian, you have no out, because the Bible plainly states in the Old Testament, in the New Testament, that God was a man. That's in your book. Can't argue that. It's even in the Holy Quran, because the attributes, if we really understood the attributes, these are attributes of a human being. The beneficent, the merciful, the destroyer, the life giver, the sustainer, the healer, right? The passionate one, the light. These are who carry these type of titles? When we say Allah, I am the best knower. Well, that's a personal human being pronoun. Dogs don't run around saying I. Cats don't run around saying I. They don't talk like that, right? There's a human pronouns that denotes a person, a singular person. That's a noun, I. Then the Quran also uses the pronoun we, our, us. Well, who is that? Who running around talking like that other than a human? But Allah, not a man. In the Bible, all through, don't even, the Old Testament just full of it. Just Moses, Allah, God talked to Jehovah, talked to Moses face to face like a man talking to his friend. It's all in there, right? But we like to get distance from the nation because we say God a man. And we say this man visited us to save you, in me, in us. That's why he's here. Now, when you see a man on the scene, when you see a student on the scene doing this work that we are doing, that many of us do in the nation, then that should let you tell us that something is happening. When you see the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan doing this work, the most successful Muslim, see, success ain't money, success ain't cars and houses and stuff. That's part of it. But success is really a relative term. We can say a couple things to say. This is right? In this world that was designed by Satan himself, he makes us think that money, cars, clothes, houses is success. That's what we think success. So if I drive a Rolls and you drive a Chevrolet, people are going to automatically think I'm more successful than you. That could be the case. I could be more in debt. Right? I could just have a better credit score than you. I don't really got the money. I just can look and stunt like I'm rich. But I'm not really rich because I'm paying that off over a 20-year period. You follow what I'm saying? But listen, in these books, Bible, Quran, God talks to us through these books, through the mouth of his prophets. So it's really third party, except the Quran. But he specifically says over and over again that God is a man. Now, why am I dealing with this? Because if we're going to talk about the biggest scam on the planet, fractional reserve banking, if we're going to talk about the synagogue of Satan, remember it's the synagogue of Satan. If we're going to talk about this, then it might be good if we start off and we try to help you see that if God, the righteous God, is a man, then that means Satan is a man. But we thinking about one powerful being, whether he on a cloud somewhere, and we thinking about a little red little person under the ground with a pitchfork, right? And we thinking about them fighting. No. This world and the way this world is structured on a system base. So the synagogue of Satan. A synagogue is a place of Jewish worship, right? But it said the synagogue of. So that means if it's of, that of denotes possession of Satan. Satan can be not one person, but a group of people who operate a certain particular system that is wicked at its core. So everything of this world, it is wicked and it is unnatural, 100% to the original man. You hear me? It is unnatural to smoke weed. It is unnatural to a man to be with another man, a woman to be with another woman. See, that's unnatural. It's unnatural to eat anything at any given time. That's unnatural. But in Satan's world, it's okay. You feel me? Because this is the systematic world that he has produced. And this is what he is ruling the planet with. So it don't have to be people, individuals no more, because the system is in place. So when the scriptures in Revelation 3:2 and 9 and 3 and 9 talk about the synagogue of Satan, it's talking about a system that's going to be ruled by the ones who are saying they're Jews, but they are not. That's why they're so quick to say you're anti-Semitic. You can't talk like that. You're anti-Semitic. Well, hold on. Well, what is a Semitic person? This what got Kyrie Irving in trouble. This what got so many others in trouble. This what got Ye in trouble. All right? With them, because they run this world and everything bows down to them except the Messiah and the Messiah followers. His true followers. Except it. See, that's why you can see everybody buck dance, everybody bend, everybody tap dance, everybody apologize, but you will never see Farrakhan apologize. Because he ain't got nothing to apologize for. You follow this? Because he is here to help usher in the kingdom of God, which is a mentality that the black man must come to the top. The black man can no longer be the foot no more. Because anywhere you go, in any country, any religious group, any part of the planet, the black man is at the bottom serving white. Whether they are white Arabs, white Mexicans, or just white people, period. The black man at the bottom. He's not at the top. Especially in the United States. And don't talk about we had a black president. No, he wasn't a black president. He was an African-American president. He didn't represent the original man. He was our brother. But he went to Harvard. He didn't go to no HBCU. And they pulled him out of there and put him in the president's spot. You feel me? No. And they made him bow down. Because he had to denounce the minister. Live on TV. He did it. All right? He had to do that. But the Messiah, who is Farrakhan, he could have destroyed Barack Obama's whole campaign by releasing a picture. Barack Obama grew up in politics in Chicago. Do you think he never saw or never met the minister? As a black senator in Chicago? Is you serious? Right? But the minister, being one who is secure in his own spirit, his own nature, his own being, no insecurities, he didn't release the picture. He let the brother be the president because that's what we wanted. And it's also also what Allah wanted, for we can have everything. So before he destroy this enemy and destroy this world, he's gonna let us try with everything that we think will work. See, we're still trying it out. We think everything will work, but separation. When you read in the book of Exodus in your Bible, did Jehovah come to integrate the children of Israel, or did he come to separate the children of Israel? But what did the children of Israel want to do? They wanted to stay with the Egyptians, but the Egyptians was oppressing them. So when Master Father Muhammad came, made a Christ, then the Christ made a Messiah, right? He preached separation, right? But what do we want to do? We want to integrate. It's nothing for a black person to jump on this stream right now and defend white people. That ain't nothing. That's the norm. It's nothing for us to go somewhere and we see the intermarriage relationship. And I'm down here in Tampa. It's like it is deep, right? It's like everywhere you go, you see it. You feel me? And I be saying the brothers, man, but listen, I'm gonna get off of that one. But listen, family. So we gotta talk to you about this because we're finna show you Satan's monetary system. We're finna show you the synagogues of Satan monetary system and how they have enslaved the planet with a dollar. With a dollar. And how in 2023 we still in love with the dollar. We don't want to leave this system. It ain't even got nothing to do with white or black. It's about us not wanting to leave this system and produce our own system where everybody can benefit. Everybody can benefit, right? And so-called conscious Negro the worst kind. Because we don't think those type of people don't think any solution will work. They find anything wrong, anything that's a solution. They ain't bringing no solution now. They ain't bringing no solution. But anything that is brought that could help us, especially economically, especially spiritually, they find a flaw with it. Well, I don't like the minister because of this. Because of what? He had something to do with Malcolm. Nigga, shut up. If he had something to do with Malcolm, he'd be in jail. Shut up. Shut the hell up. Right? Shut up. Right? Oh, I can't follow him. The Most High Muhammad had more than one wife. He had sex with underage girls. What did the girls say? Did the women say this? These wives that he had children by? His children still alive right now. The wives are still alive right now. Some of them. What did they say? In 1993, the minister pulled them all up on the stage. Let them talk. It saves the day. 1993. That was 30 years ago, brother. 30. And y'all still using that. The minister couldn't have been this successful representing an immoral man. Representing a dead man. Representing a man that wasn't divine. Where he wouldn't be divine himself. You feel me? They're all tricks of the enemy. Because you will believe the Bible, Holy Quran, and how many wives did Prophet Muhammad have? How many wives did Abraham have? How many wives did David have? How many wives did Moses and Solomon and Aaron have? How many wives did Jesus have? Some Christian theologians say Jesus had more than one wife. Y'all don't know that though. Because a lot of Jesus' history is not in the Bible. Most of his history is not in the Bible. But y'all don't know that though. All right? Hook, line, and sinker. Only Satan could deceive the planet about a man who was going to be here to destroy him, and he got the people that he come to save looking back 2,000 years ago. Looking back 2,000 years ago and saying this man 2,000 years ago gonna come back. How could they do that? That's deception. In the Bible, he's called the arch deceiver. So that means what he specialized in is deception. That's his specialty. That's his mastery. And we're taught in the nation, in our lessons from Allah and person, Master Prophet Muhammad, through the most honorable Muhammad, the exalted Christ, that the enemy, Satan, was taught the knowledge on how to master the original man. But we walk around thinking we ain't mastered. You think like that, brother? No. As long as I stay connected to the Messiah and listen to what he say and do what he say, then I'm not master. But for any second I deviate, I could be mastered again. All right? But it's all about staying connected. It's all about staying plugged in to the source, to the live generator. So we're happy. And this is a great time. The great and dreadful day of the Lord. So let's get into this scam, right? I think y'all got the message. Let's get into this scam. See, everybody won't think, some of y'all think it's crypto. Crypto ain't a scam. If crypto is a scam, boy, I'm sure living good off of it then. But some of y'all couldn't see a scam if it hit you smack in the face. And we're going to bring you face to face with the biggest scam on the planet. All right. Now, I usually show the debt clock first, but I'm going to go to the debt clock after this part. Now, I want everybody to, this is the part where you listen. This is the part where you really pay attention to what's really happening. All right. Because most of us are involved in this scam and getting scammed and don't even really know it. You feel me? Don't even know it. Because why? We don't have the time to really study this. And since we was not taught anything about money and the way money works and the way money moves and how these systems work, then we never took the time out to actually study it. So we just go with it, go with the flow, as we say. And then we argue. So that's mastery. That's how they mastered us. They made the system that's enslaving everybody. They got poverty and want running rapid in the world. And we will come out and defend the sham. Boy, that's a hell of a thing. All right, so check it. Now, most don't know that your banking system is a fraud. How? Well, because by law, they practice something called fractional reserve lending. Now, we've been having conversations. I've been in conversations in some of our Telegram groups where we think that these banks had to keep 10% of the money that's deposited in the bank. At least 10%. And they can loan out the other 90%. All right? Well, at the peak of COVID, that law was repealed and pulled out. Or that policy, rather. So what that mean? That means that now they can loan out every deposit that comes into the bank. They can loan it all out. And it also, so if they can loan it all out, it also means that they don't need any funds in there to loan out anything. Oh man, you got this scam run deep. It's been going on for 1913, 113 in 10 years, going on 110 years, this scam has been running rapid through the world, headed by the Federal Reserve, the IMF, and the World Bank. It's going on 109 years. Thank you, Brother Jahar. So we just said 109 years. All right? It's been going on. And nobody has been able to stop it. And nobody has been able to expose it like the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. That's who is the number one exposer of this. You might think it's Mike Maloney, Peter Schiff, Robert Kiyosaki. But before him, Minister Farrakhan had already busted up, had already broke it down. That's why I heard him before I seen the Hidden Secrets of Money. When I saw the Hidden Secrets of Money, the only thing that could replay in my mind was the minister lecture that he did in 95, titled The Conspiracy of the International Bankers. That's the only thing went on in my head. And other lectures where the minister broke this down. But that lecture specifically, and also Savior's Day 1995, Jesus Saves, the name of that lecture. That was months before the Million Man March. The same year, the historical Million Man March, he delivered Jesus Saves. And in that lecture, February of 1995, he pulled a cover clean off of the synagogue of Satan. But he did it in the banking system, so most missed it. Yeah, he talk about the Rothschild, the DuPont, the Wahlberg, the Rockefeller. Yeah, the big name that you don't want to mention. Yeah, those people. Federal Reserve banking. This is when banks, central banks, are given the okay to loan out your money to produce more money. That's right. To loan out more money to produce more money. Federal Reserve banking, what it is and how it works. It was updated December the 16th of 2022. Federal Reserve banking. What is Federal Reserve banking? Federal Reserve banking, listen carefully, man, is a system in which only a fraction of banks' deposits are required to be available for withdrawal. Banks only need to keep a specific amount of cash on hand and can create loans from the money you deposit. Federal Reserves work to expand fractional reserves, fractional reserves work to expand the economy by freeing capital for lending. Now, this is expanding the economy, but this is producing fake money. It's producing, meaning I can put in $1,000. They can only have to keep 100 in cash, and they can loan the other 900 out. And my account is going to still say 1,000. And this person just got 900 to go and get a car loan or whatever, credit card loan, whatever it is. All right. So that's 1,000 over here, but 900 of it was given to this person. So that is 1,900, because my account still say 1,000. See the scam? And they got the nerve to run this scam and give us 0.01%, and we ain't left the bank, had a run on the bank yet. Y'all know what that means? That means we are cowards. We are still slaves. Because no way. That's why you see over there in China, see, they don't operate like that. They running on the bank. They like, no, they having runs on the bank. Any problem they get, they go to the government. They take it to the government, take over the government building. We sit over here and just take it and do nothing but picket it. If that, cry about it. Well, that happened to that person. Then we'll see it happening to our people all over the country where they can't withdraw money out. They argue with their banks, and we ain't had a boycott on the bank yet. These folk made Kanye Ye get $140 million back, shut down his cash flow, shut down his business, and we ain't said, hey, nobody black bank with Chase Bank no more throughout the country. You ain't seen that challenge, that campaign come yet. Because we still slaves. The slave don't want to deal with his master. He just talk strong, but when it comes time for the rubber to meet the road, oh, hold up. I like Chase. Hold up. I need to pay my bill. Hold up. I like my credit score lifestyle. Fractional reserves work to expand the economy by freeing capital for lending. Today, most economists' financial systems use fractional reserve banking. Fractional reserve banking. Key takeaways. Fractional reserve banking describes a system whereby banks can loan out a certain amount of deposit that they have on their balance sheets. Banks used to be required to, listen. Banks used to be required to keep a certain amount of the cash depositors placed in their accounts in reserve. Did y'all hear that? Type that in. I told y'all they don't have to keep nothing in there now. They can loan it all out. So if they can loan it all out, that means they can produce some numbers in a database with nothing being there. Oh, this scam just got 10 times worse. All right, and it's about to fall. Banks used to be required to keep a certain amount of cash, or the cash depositors placed in their accounts in reserve. All depository institutions are paid a specific interest rate on their reserve balance to encourage holding reserve. So they want to keep some in there. Understanding fractional reserve banking. When you create an account at a bank, in the contract, you agree to allow that bank to use a percentage of your deposits as loans to other bank customers. What? Hold up. And they ain't giving you nothing? Oh, man. This is what Myron Golden was talking about. So you loan your money to the bank interest-free. This doesn't mean you don't have access to the money you deposited. It only means that if you want to remove more than the percentage a bank keeps on hand, such as the entire balance from the account, the bank will need to access funds from somewhere else to give you your balance. Man, come on, man. Did y'all hear this? Hold on now. This thing here gets deep. Man. Tag some folks in here, man. We need everybody to see this here, man. Man, get this video, share this video out now, immediately. Did y'all hear that, man? Did you hear that? This is serious. Wow. Hold on, let read that again. That's just too amazing. When you create an account at a bank, in the contract, you agree to allow that bank to use a percentage of your deposits as loans to other bank customers. This doesn't mean you don't have access to the money you deposited. It only means that if you want to remove more than a percentage a bank keeps on hand, such as the entire balance from the account, the bank will need to access funds from somewhere else to give you your balance. Well, I be damned. Scam. Red flag. So this is why Soldier Boy went to a bank to get 100,000 out, and they only could give him 30,000 because they didn't have it. Then you had another person went to a bank, forgot his name, Tony something. He went to a bank to get 100,000 out, and they tried to get him a cashier check and told him to come back in a couple of days. Woo-woo. When you deposit money in your savings account, your bank can use an amount specified as capital to fund loans and pay you for using your money. For instance, say you deposit $2,000 in a savings account. Savings accounts pay interest, generally between 0.5, that's a lot, and 2%, another lie. We ain't found nothing like that. But these are yearly returns. If it was, it's still yearly returns, while they're getting 10 to 15% return. So you receive an interest payment on your money, and the bank can use part of it in a loan. In turn, the bank may want to access 80% of your money. to use as loans to other customers. Fast fact, you receive interest as an incentive for keeping money in the account in an account the bank can use to create loans. The Federal Reserve sets interest rates. They are based on the economic circumstances and how it decides it can best meet its dual mandate of maximum employment and price stability. If a bank needs capital to fund loans, withdrawals, pay debts, or meet other obligations, it can borrow from other banks and pay them back interest. As a last result, the Federal Reserve maintains a service called the discount window, where it lends money to banks at a higher interest rate than they charge between themselves. This encourages banks to seek funds from each other rather than the Fed. Interest is charged between federal institutions based on a range set by the Federal Reserve Board of Governors called the Federal Reserve Target Rate Range. The average interest rate banks charge each other is referred to as the effective federal funds rate. Fractional reserve banking process. The Federal Reserve banking process creates money that is inserted into the economy. When you deposit that $2,000, your bank may lend 10% of it to other customers, along with 10% from 5 other customer accounts. What? This creates a loan of $1,000 for the customer needing a loan. This creates a loan. So it created some false money. It's not, there's an illusion. Your balance still reflects $2,000, and the customers that the bank borrowed from also see their balances remain unchanged. If all 5 customers have account balances of $2,000, it will look something like this. You and 5 other customers have $2,000 in savings. If the bank can use 90% of its deposits for loan, the available capital is $9,000, 90% of $10,000. $9,000, 90% of $10,000. The bank borrows 10% from each of the 5 accounts, totaling $1,000. There is still a balance of $2,000 in each account, $10,000 total between the 5 accounts. The bank essentially created $1,000 and lent it to the borrower. To receive interest payments on your $2,000 in the bank, you receive interest payments on your $2,000 and the bank receives interest at a higher rate from the borrower to pay your interest and profit from the service. Damn. History of Federal Reserve banking. That's all a scam. Federal Reserve banking supposedly has its roots in the era when gold and silver were traded. Goldsmith would issue preliminary notes which were later used as a means of exchange. The Smiths used the deposited gold to issue loans with interest, and fractional banking was born. In the United States, the National Bank Act was passed in 1863, so they've been using this for a while, to require banks to keep reserves on hand and protect depositor funds from being used in risky investments. In 1913, the Federal Reserve Act created the system of Federal Reserve banks we now know collectively as the Federal Reserve System. Banks were required to keep reserve balances with the Federal Reserve Bank. Fun fact, reserve requirements for banks under the Federal Reserve Act were set at 13%, 10%, and 7%, depending on the type of bank. In 1917, in the 1950s and 60s, the Fed had set the reserve ratio as high as 17.5% for certain banks, and it remained between 8% to 10% throughout much of the 1970s through the 2010s. During this period, banks with fewer than $16.3 million in assets were not required to hold reserves. Damn, so they can loan out everything. However, banks with fewer than $124.2 million in assets, but more than $16.3 million, had to have a reserve size of 3%. And those banks with more than $124.2 million in assets had a 10% reserve requirement. Listen. Listen, on March the 26th of 2020, this is a significant date right here. This is a significant date right here, right? Why? Across the water, March the 26th of 2020. No, March the 26th of 2018. China came out with the petrol yuan. 2 years later, here go the Federal Reserve releasing a policy on the same date. I hope y'all see the connection and where it's gonna go. I hope y'all see the connection now. Right? I hope y'all see the connection. Let me say that again. March the 26th of 2018, China produced and released the petrol yuan. And they also said that the petrol yuan could be converted into gold. This was the speeding up of the fall of the dollar. Because whenever something can challenge the petrodollar, that's really the last hold on the dollar being the number one reserve currency. It's everybody accepting it for oil. But now they have an alternative. They don't have to accept the dollar for oil now. And we didn't really see this coming to fruition until Russia and Ukraine went into war, because now that's what Russia is using, the petrol yuan. Ooh, this thing is getting hot. Y'all better get ready. We better get ready. So on March the 26th, 2020, the 10% and the 3% required reserve ratios against net transaction deposits were reduced to zero for all banks, essentially removing the reserve requirements altogether. It was replaced with interest on reserve balances, IORB, or interest paid on reserves the banks hold as an incentive rather than a requirement. Let's read that again. So this is 2 years. Listen how the Jew is trying to wrestle with China them. All right, he's trying to stay in the game. So he had to go to desperate measures. And he had to take off the lid. So they took off the lid off the banks 2 years after China came out with the petrol yuan. Oh my goodness. Matter of fact, hold on right quick. Let us segue. Let us segue. Petrol yuan. Let me pull this up, because y'all need to see this and see this connection. Y'all need to see this and see this connection, man. Because this thing is getting deep and it's finna get hot. You feel me? This thing is getting hot. Yeah. Somebody find me that article. Petrol. Petrol. I want, because I got to make this connection. We got to line these points up. All right. For everybody to understand what's happening. Petrol yuan. Okay, here we go. Now I'm going to come back to that. What the hell? English, that damn it. They brought it to me in Chinese. Chinese. All right. It was 2 years after that. Don't actually have a date on here. By introducing petrol yuan, China has stopped the petrol dollars, monetary and international oil trade. So it don't got, when was it created? Hold on. I'm trying to find out when did they come up with it. Because I want that date, because I know I read an article that said it was 2018 March the 26th. 2018, March the 26th. Let me find it over here. Oh, here it is right here. Why do I find it? Can't make this stuff up. I'm telling you, I remember when I've been reporting on this stuff. We've been doing this stuff for a while now. So I told y'all we the business, man. When we trying to tell, we gonna keep you awoke on what's happening. Just tune in to Forward Money Network. We got you covered. All right, so we're gonna come back to that. Y'all hold that. All right, but I want to prove what I said. Okay, so we want to go over here to Wikipedia again, but we're gonna go back and we're gonna come back to the creation of the petrol yuan. Petrol yuan is a form of the official Chinese currency. The yuan extended at least initially for oil trading. Listen now, on March the 26th, 2018, just like I said, March the 26th. Now the reason I can remember this date, because my oldest child is born on this date. She's born March the 26th of 2003. So the reason that this date stuck out to me, it will always stick out to me because my first child was born on this date. That's why I can remember it so vividly, that it was the 26th. All right. On March the 26th, 2018, the Chinese government issued the first long-term oil trading contracts dominated in petrol yuans. This project exists to attempt to compete with the American petrodollar as a main currency in crude oil transactions, whose harmony has led the market since the dollar standard was first established in 1971, replacing the gold standard and giving the United States the power to manage most of the world's currency supply, around 60%. Damn. All right. So that just wanted to prove that. So we're going to go back over here, back to fractional reserve lending. All right. Just wanted to just show y'all that we ain't just over here just talking now. This thing is deep and we are showing what is happening in real time. So let's go back. So 2 years after the petrol yuan creation, exactly 2 years to the date, the Federal Reserve, the Fed, who really is America. The Fed is America, right? The Fed, the government of America is really the Fed. On March 26, 2020, the 10% and 3% required reserve ratios against net transaction deposits was reduced to 0% for all banks, essentially removing the reserve requirements altogether. Fractional reserve banking versus other types of banking. Most countries today use fractional reserve banking because it is not feasible to use 100% reserve banking. Moreover, a system that requires banks to hold 100% of deposits cannot create more money without devaluing its currency. Whoa. Thus, banks would need to hold a significant amount of capital to issue loans. This would greatly reduce growth in developing and developed economies because the banks could not issue debt to businesses and customers that rely on it for large purchases and investment. A system backed by precious metals such as gold is also prone to this problem. If a specific amount of a country's currencies has to be represented by a certain amount of gold, the country is limiting its growth potential because there is a finite amount of gold available. To meet the growing demand for capital, the currency's value would continuously be reduced. Fractional reserve banking allows a country to grow its money supply to meet the demand for growth. That's a scam. That meaning they're producing something out of thin air, and it's not really there. It's not based on wealth creation. See, that meaning if they wanted to do that and the currency is backed by gold, that means that they will have to mine more gold. They will have to bring up more wealth. Man, so this couldn't really be the have and the have-nots. You couldn't have this globe of 1%. Because see, Robert Kiyosaki can go to the bank and get a $300 million loan. Well, me and you can probably can't even go get a $30,000 loan. So we can't play the real estate game like Robert Kiyosaki. You feel me? He can go to the bank and get a $300 million loan. But we're going to struggle to go through loops and hurdles just to get a $30,000 loan. If they give us that. Straight up. So how can we play the wealth game with them? So the fractional reserve lending has directly created the haves and the have-not. Have created the poor, the wealthy, and the middle class. They have created this because the poor don't have good credit, so they can't even get to the middle class because they can't keep a good job. I ain't got no job, and they ain't got no good credit, so they can't even become and graduate and go to the middle class. The middle class got good credit, so they can drive rich, stay rich, but they not really rich. And the wealthy is really rich because they can go to any bank and get loans for millions of dollars as long as they're not black. Man, this is deep. So that's why this is called the Federal Reserve is the synagogue of Satan. That's why. Just for those reasons right there, because if you got three classes of people on the planet, well, the poor class is looking at the middle class like saying, man, I want some out your plate. This is what causing chaos. This is what causes strife. This is what causing divorce. This is what's causing this. It is a money issue. They have set it up where everything is like a money issue. You feel me? So that's very significant. And all we got to do is just understand how it works. And we can see when the ministers say that the Federal Reserve, the synagogue say, well, why do you say that? What has the Federal Reserve created? It has created the haves and the have-not. It has created the poverty. It has created the crime. Because poverty is going to lead to crime. This is what it's going to lead to. It's going to lead to destruction of homes, destruction of families. That's why they're building more prisons than they build schools. Because they ain't about educating people. They trying to lock people up. Because they make money off of that. That's another form of their game. You feel me? But none of the bankers are going to prison. You feel me? So you better not open up your mouth talking about crypto, no scam. You better not open up your mouth like the minister said. You better not open up your mouth calling him no anti-Semitic when during the Holocaust, the Rothschilds stayed at the finest hotels in Europe. You better not open your mouth. You feel me? That's right, George. But listen at this. See, this is what they try to clean up. Advantages and disadvantages of fractional reserve banking. Pros. Banks don't need to hold vast amounts of capital. So they took that out. Banks stimulate the economy by lending, meaning they are producing fake money that's really not backed by anything. It's just paper and it's just digits in a database. So more people, you can go and buy stuff because America got this pact with these other countries that's not going to last, where these other countries are sending us appliances and things, and we're sending them fake dollars. Allows for regulation. Cons, customers' panic can cause mass withdrawals and lack of capital. Oh, hold up. Did y'all hear the con? Huh? Now we have told you, people keep asking us about this FTX trash, all right? Which I think it was a scam from the start. And I think that dude, Sam, was just a fall guy. I don't even think he really knew that they was going to do him like that. But it's nothing for him to say because he was going along with it and he was faking like he was a crypto expert when he was never a crypto expert. I knew he wasn't a crypto expert when I heard him talk down about proof of stake. Proof of stake is better than proof of work. They both good, but proof of stake better. Why? Because proof of work use up a lot of energy due to those computers mining, which is unlocking codes. Proof of stake don't do that. The coins being staked produce these transactions. See that? So there's no mining in that sense to proof of stake. So proof of stake is more in line with the future than proof of work, POS and POW, in my opinion. But when I heard him blast proof of stake, he ain't even got a blockchain. He really didn't probably know how a blockchain really run. Because when he said that, we all should have caught that like, that. This dude don't even, that was years ago. This dude, he was on Kitco News, and I heard him like talk down about proof of stake, and what he said to me didn't make a lot of sense. It didn't, right? So I don't really think that he knew what was really about to happen. It's just that he was the face of it, so there's nothing he can do. He was living a life, he was pulling the money, they was paying him. So now there's nobody for him to point the finger at. He had all those other investors coming back him, not billionaires. You know, people. Kevin O'Leary ain't no billionaire. You feel what I'm saying? But listen, cons. Customer panic can cause mass withdrawals and lack of capital. Too much lending can cause the economy to overheat. Pro explain. Banks don't need to hold vast amount of capital because banks use deposits. Customers tend to leave in their accounts. Fractional reserve banking frees up capital for the economy. This assists in economic growth by keeping money float. Hold on, fam. I got my laptop about to go dead. You hook that back up. Okay. I'm back. So, okay. Fractional reserve banking, frees up capital for the economy. This assists in economic growth by keeping money flowing. Banks stimulate the economy by lending. The economy needs capital to grow. Banks meet this need by using funds held in reserve to issue loans to businesses and customers. For example, mortgages, auto loans, and other loans are all made possible by fractional reserve banking. Wow. Without it, most customers wouldn't have the means to afford homes and other necessities of modern life. Damn. Allows for regulation. Fractional reserve banking enables regulatory agencies to regulate lending practices and influence the economy by guiding interest rate. Without it, banks would be free to charge whatever they want. Cons explain. Customer panic can cause mass withdrawals and lack of capital. When customers, investors, and businesses panic about economic circumstances, they tend to run to their bank to withdraw everything they can to prevent further losses. This is called a bank run. And a fractional reserve system keeps them from withdrawing their capital because banks do not physically have it. Oh my goodness. Too much lending can contribute to economic overheat. When the economy is expanding, it is growing. Customers tend to spend more and banks lend more during periods of expansion. When more money is being created through loans, demand can soar, increasing prices. Producers begin producing more to meet demand. This can continue into a situation where the economy overheats, growing too fast. Criticisms of fractional reserve banking. The one main criticism of fractional reserve banking is that there are insufficient funds for everybody to withdraw at once. However, this is generally not an issue because people won't need to remove all of their capital under most circumstances. Important. Before the introduction of the Fed in the early 20th century, the national bank Act of 1863 imposed 25% reserve requirements for United States banks under its charters. This can be witnessed by reviewing the Greek financial crisis that began in 2009 and 2015. Greece defaulted on its debts to the International Monetary Fund. Oh, all right, bring them to the witness stand. Against a global financial crisis. As a result, citizens flocked to the banks to withdraw their funds, and the banks were forced to close their doors to prevent a complete withdrawal of capital from a struggling system. Further back in time, at the start of the Great Depression in the United States, customers rushed to banks. The United States customers rushed to banks to withdraw all of their funds, leading to the collapse of New York Bank of the United States. Is fractional reserve legal? It's not really, but it is. All right. Wow. Y'all see that? See, this is what happens when you read and you study this stuff. See, you find out stuff that you didn't know, and then you can tie the dots. See, because when you're a free thinking man, when you're a free thinking person, you can tie the dots. You feel what I'm saying? You feel me? So this is what we are trying to get over to the people. That's right. That's called a Ponzi. If all the money's not there, that's a Ponzi scheme. If all the money not there, that's a Ponzi scheme. That's right, Brother Jahad. You feel what I'm saying? So that's right. But listen, this is what we are talking about. This is what is going on, and this is why you need to be involved in crypto. This is why. So we've been reporting on the truth. We've been letting you know what's going on. Fractional reserve banking is a scam. It is a fraud. It is a Ponzi. It is a pyramid scheme. It is outright injustice, immoral. It is outright just robbing people daily, because the money you put in the bank is not there, and they're not giving you any high rate of return for you to even be comfortable with that situation. All right. So, family, with that being said, family, we want y'all to tune in the morning. Come to Crypto Mornings. But we're going to tell you what's going on in the crypto space. All right. We're going to tell you what's going on in the world economy. We're going to tell you what's happening, but we just don't tell you that. We got a project going on called Project Exodus 10,000. And we are looking to grow and to 10x our business, and we are doing a tremendous job of doing it. All right. So over the last month or so, we got over like 150 to 200 people that joined the organization. Nearly 200 people in less than 2 months. All right. So this is what happens when you have mass explosion. So listen, come on and explode with us. Come on, get in, tap in. Don't worry about what the haters saying. All right. Just think about what you could do if you could free up yourself. Because we got some passive income. We got some interest income that you can get on your money. So come on over here and bank with us. All right. Come on over here and bank with us. Put your money in over here. I'm not a financial advisor, but put your money over here. Don't worry about nobody tell you about crypto, because we're in crypto. But really, crypto is just a tool that we're moving and transfer in and out of this stuff. That's all it is. All right. But we have anything you're looking for. You want something to just put the money in and wait on it to grow. We got that. Right. You want to put your money in some property and get paid a yield off of that. We got that. All right. You want some NFTs? We got that. You want to get fee-based income? We got that. You want to get distribution income. You want to build a business online and just do it. And I'm amazed how many people just walk by us and go and do other things. You don't really want no money, man. What is wrong with us, man? Listen, we providing the best money-making opportunity on the planet right now. Listen, this is not a cap. This is not a boast. We are providing the best money-making opportunity right now by far. Why? Because everybody makes money. Everybody makes money. And we're not dealing with no fractional reserve, nothing. No money is being created because money is coming in. That's not happening. Money is being created because this money is moving. This money is going and working, going to work, producing percentages, bringing back a profit, bringing back a yield. That's what's happening over here with us in Forward Money Network, New Millennium Bankers, because we are banking the gold standard bank way. We are banking the gold standard bank way, and we are getting paid every 7 days. Every 7 days, we're getting a minimum. I'm going to say that again. I'm going to say that 2 more times. We are getting paid a minimum. A minimum. Listen, family. Listen. We are getting paid a minimum of 16.6% per week. We're getting paid a minimum of 16.6% per month. It's really more than that. But we're just going to deal with that. Because that's going to come to you weekly. Passive liquid income. Where else can you get these type of rates of return? Where else can you go? So come on, join Forward Money Network, become a new millennial banker, and get paid so many different ways that it's gonna, man, listen, you'll lose sleep trying to figure out where all this money coming from. You feel me? I'm telling you, man, this thing here is crazy. Like, man, we bringing people in and like people just blowing by us. Like my brother Ben X, oh man, this man going crazy. You hear me? This man just hit national director in 3 days. That's $60,000 in revenue. This man national. He only hit executive last month. He already at national. The next rank is executive. This man been in the business 2 months. Man, he's proof. He's showing you just how to really just launch a business. Well, I ain't got the level of influence. At one point in time, he ain't had a level of influence. So we don't want to hear that. At one point in time, he wanted to influence social media influence. He had to go to work. And he had to build up his platform. He had to build up his image. He did that. Put himself out there. And he went to work. He did that. So what about when he was doing that? He ain't had no money then. When he was getting the followers and getting the influence, right? But damn. But he's still just showing you how to work a business, though. This is what we've been trying to tell you. I told brother tonight, I said, listen, when you're not involved in sales, that's a show to the world that you lack confidence in yourself. Because everybody got confidence in themselves. They in the sales. Why? Because they confident that they can sell the product. They confident you can sell the product because they're going to take confidence to do it. Without confidence, you can't sell nothing. That's why most say, I don't want to do sales. Man, sales been making the most money, make the most money, always make the most money. Then when you come over here with us, not only do you get involved in sales, per se, we ain't really selling nothing. We can't sell you 16.6% of money. How can I sell you that? That ain't a product to sell, right? You just got to want that, right? But listen, that's an offer that we offering you. Do you want it? Yes or no? But listen though, family. How? When you sales make the most money. Why? Because if you wholesaling, you buy for one price and you double your money, triple your money. You feel me? That's why, see, when you involved, not you working at a sales store, not that. Maybe a car dealership. Even that's why realtors are a little different. But I have come to find out that a lot of real estate agents, they have been poisoned by the traditional way of making money. So the central bank, because they have to work so close with the banking system that they have become, most of them have become poisoned by that. So they really can't see nothing outside of that. You feel what I'm saying? And they ain't like they own a lot of real estate. They just, you know, they agents. They selling property. So they in the MLM, they just selling houses and apartments and stuff, right? For somebody else. It ain't theirs. So they do MLMs. But they'll tell us they don't want to do it. So that's what happened with that. Because when you dealing that close with the snake, when you that close to the head of the snake, you feel what I'm saying? And you actually working for the head of the snake, whether you know it or not, he like sticks his venom into you. So his mindset gets into you. So you get to talking and thinking like them. You don't even know it though. You feel me? So when the opportunity comes, that's why we know if we meet a realtor and they come over here and they get what we doing, or they just fly, shoo, and take off with it. Because of the people they connected to already. Oh man, this thing, I can teach and train on that all night. But listen, I want to hold y'all. We're gonna be on here 10 in the morning, crypto mornings, brand new live stream. We got some more information for you that's coming out of a crypto platform that's dealing with crypto. And we're gonna show some certificates, show what's going on. Because I loaded another certificate tonight, live on YouTube. Did it tonight at our 7:30 event. Just wanted to show how it works. So get the video, show people how it works. This is how it works. We're getting paid 4.15% per week, 16.6% per month. And if you want to support the Nation of Islam, support me, then get the Final Call subscription. Support is the best newspaper on the planet. Text FCN to 833-549-2079. And if you want to donate straight to the Nation of Islam, go to www.economicblueprint.org. And if you want to be a part of the 10X, because we 10X, whether with you or without you, because we already doing it. I just told you, in the last, it ain't even 2 months yet. In our organization, we almost had about 200 new members. So we're growing. And as more people keep coming like that, it's going to get faster. Faster. Right? Because our goal is to get to 10X within the next 3 months. All right? So come on, get in line. Come on, join. Either you're going to join now or you're going to join later. All right? So join so you can get these rate of returns right now. Why wait? What you waiting on? All right? So with that being said, family, we want to thank y'all for tuning in, and we will get with y'all. Don't be afraid to bank with us. The banks ain't giving you nothing, and they scamming people. They scamming you, and they not giving you nothing. They should be giving you way more than that, but they're not, and they're not going to, because they know you don't have an alternate. But you do have an alternate. Come on over here with us. We the alternate. With that being said, family, thank y'all for tuning in, and we're going to leave with closing remarks from the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan that's going to further talk about the synagogue of Satan in that banking system. Here we go.
And you refuse. And as long as you will be a step and fetch it, as long as you will sell out for $1, they make dollars every day. Right next to the Holocaust Museum in Washington is where the Federal Reserve prints the money. The Federal Reserve is the synagogue of Satan. The Federal Reserve, the Rockefellers, the DuPonts, the House of Rothschild. These are the people that have corrupted the entire world. And I am here to pronounce your doom. Now America's become a fascist country. You remember when Senator Huey Long is quoted as saying, when fascism comes to America, it will be called anti-fascism. Fascism is designed and defined as an authoritarian political ideology that combines nationalism with a corporatist economic system. Fascists advocate the creation of a single party. You think that the Democrats and the Republicans are different? Now, who controls the U.S. Congress? Do you think it's you? Can you really depend on the Senate and the House of Representatives to represent your interests? They're in bed with insurance companies. They're in bed with special interests. And they're in bed with Israel. Most of your senators, many of them, and congresspersons are honorary citizens, members of the Knesset. They control America's wealth. President Bush was controlled. There's not a president that is the real power. The real power are those moneyed people